Lion's walking through the woods. Then comes up to a zebra, and Lion says, "You know something, zebra? You are a ridiculous-looking animal. You're half white, half black, half horse, half donkey. Look at me. I'm rough, I'm tough, I'm the king of the jungle." Zebra just shrugs and moves on. Lion comes to a giraffe, and the lion says, "You know something, giraffe? You are a ridiculous-looking animal. You've got a long neck and little horns. Look at me. I'm rough, I'm tough, I'm the king of the jungle." Lion comes to a frog and says, "You know something, frog? You are a ridiculous-looking animal. You're green and slimy." And the frog says, "Hey, fuck you. I've been sick." I can't host Elliot's show. Don't be ridiculous.
You host your own show at 4 o'clock.
About financial news.
You're expanding.
Oh, come on. I gained 4 freaking pounds.
No, Professor.
Right. Expanding.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing it.
Hey, money skirt?
The day will come when we have an HR rep who cares what goes on this floor. And on that day, sir, I will dance upon your grave.
Reciting stock quotes and wearing a skirt?
How much time do I have to formulate a comeback?
That was it. The first thing out of your mouth is the comeback. You wasted yours on a question about comebacks. Fantasy football draft starts in 10 minutes.
I know. I'm the commissioner.
Your parents must be proud.
They are. I was elected unanimously.
You were unopposed, just like when you were elected class treasurer.
That was an important job.
It wasn't.
Why does it have to be like this?
Because you're a nerd and I'm a nerd, and you make nerds look bad.
No, I make nerds look good.
I've been meaning to tell you you've been doing a perfectly adequate job filling in for Elliot this week.
Hey, sir, can you take his phone away? He's endangering your life and the lives of the other passengers.
I'm not. She set the Treasury Secretary on fire.
It's true.
Why?
Just as sure the other cabinet secretary said I could. No, I didn't.
What happened when he ran after you?
It doesn't matter. I just need
Are you
the
guys
video
together
taken
now?
down.
It doesn't matter, Erica. How far per ass do you need to crawl before you get
It's
there?
all right.
That was really...
You're not making a rational expectations argument.
I am. Expectations, insofar as they're informed by predictions, are essentially, okay, look, if the prediction
All
of
right,
the
you're making a rational expectations argument, but you're not being rational. There's no risk here. What are we talking about? It's not pure, frictionless arbitrage.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Hey, Sloan, you in the neighborhood?
Always. I work a block over. Kathy told me to come back. Scott, can we talk for just 1 second? I'll have him right now.
Yo.
It's been this has been here for a month.
I made it to the rage phase.
You tell me. I mean, that's your area. I don't go there.
Hey!
No.
There have been nearly 200 hail.
Miss Sabbath, a lady always buttons her top button. If you buttoned your collar on television, you would be a lady. If you spilled water all over your front, I would like that too. It's a fan.
Do me a favor, okay? Sure. Try not to make a scene.
Hey, Dickless! Not you. You're in a minute. You.
You think maybe if you'd let me prep you for that? You had a brand! I'm a Marine, Don. I will beat the shit out of you. I don't care how many protein bars you eat. Hey.
Your report to
Back.
him.
Back. Did you know?
Jim, are you all right? Unlucky.
I'm fine. Thank you. Can I talk to you a second?
Did you hurt anything?
Everything, I think. But please. Jim? You have a hold button.
Oh, please.
Jim!
Kidding, you were like Batman.
I am, actually. I felt like the cape was a little campy, but I still have the car and the utility belt.
Right. Well,
Not this shit about being disagreeing. Guys, great job tonight. These things are done by teams, and I've got the best team in television. I'm gonna make sure each and every one of you knows how important you are to me. This isn't our control room.
no.
It's screwy.
The PhD is cool with illegal immigrants as long as they're checked for diseases like smallpox and gayness. I'm not sure I gave Will the best form of the argument.
Didn't we cure some?
Yes.
Wait. Everybody watch this.
There's nothing to watch.
She has to subtract with her fingers.
I don't have to.
We were 17 seconds heavy on Bernanke, which means we had to squeeze Bill Crystal down to what?
2:13, and Will took tap dancing lessons when he was 8.
Oh, and Mackenzie thought this old house was working on the same house every week.
Everyone in the conference room, and that was reasonable.
It took 6 months to build the city of Dubai. You think they were renovating the same mid-century Florida for 15 years?
Let's go.
How many kitchens do you think that house had?
That'll do. Let's get serious. I'll begin by saying that Will cries when he watches the movie Weed.
No, I don't.
Cries like an onion.
Onions make you cry. They don't themselves experience emotion.
The way you experience emotion when you watch Rudy.
One scene, one moment, once in a while.
The Jersey Sink?
Yes.
Everybody cries at the Jersey Sink.
Jim.
Around Tahrir Square.
Oh, you all right? Glass. Oh, you can't see this. Yeah, be quiet. There's a new story. I'm an American journalist. That's the Walker press conference and the teachers in Appleton unrendered.
Got it.
I didn't trip over anything on the way. Sorry. Are you kidding me? Sorry.
Where is James Harper?
That's Lisa.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It's Valentine's Day. I forgot to meet her.
James Harper? No, he is not welcome. Stand here.
What are you doing?
Hiding.
Does this seem like a good plan to you?
No.
Get up.
Please don't make me.
Get up.
He is referring.
Don.
Reese, get the fuck out here!
Don, he's not in.
Oh, God. Fuck. Ah, it's a strong door.
So, do you know where he can be reached?
So what do you say? You're my first and only choice.
What about Jerome?
He's in Bermuda.
Kathy?
It's your parents' 50th anniversary.
Taylor?
Bronchitis.
So,
Yes, you are my fourth and only choice.
I can't host Elliot.
Say it in English.
She just put me
Your
back!
company had this incident rated at level 4, then adjusted to level 5. How confident are you that that'll be the highest level we see?
At least we're back to English.
現時点でレベルをこれ以上引き上げる判断材料は持ち合わせておりません。
At this point, we see no reason that level will need future escalation.
Well, that's simply not what Mr. Smaka told me on the phone earlier today.
No.
When I spoke with him earlier, he said there's enough evidence to raise the level to 7.
Go back to Japanese.
And now he's not saying it, so I am.
Oh my God!
So there it is. The Fukushima nuclear power plant is saying that the level 4 radiation leak that was raised to level 5 has a chance of being raised to level 7, which is the difference between life and gruesome death. We'll be back after this with Sarah Bernhardt.
Sandra Bernhardt, you idiot!
Oh, what the hell does it matter?
Okay.
What's up?
Okay. I know we were on sketchy ground ethically and linguistically, but
You're gonna say it for another 10 seconds.
what happens in 10 seconds?
Hang on for another 5 seconds and know that we've all been there at one point or another.
What happens in 5 seconds?
What in the name of holy fuck were you thinking about?
I have to fix this now. Help me. I need wisdom.
I have wisdom.
Kenzie, I love you, but a Japanese man's honor is at stake, and sometimes your wisdom leads to...
No, I get it.
No problem. He said they're pretty strong, so you should just break off a quarter and eat that.
When this guy says they're strong, they're strong.
I ate 2.
Okay, well, enjoy yourself, and we'll see you in 12 to 14 hours.
It's fine. I have incredibly high tolerance. That's why I can't feel the Vicodin.
You took Vicodin and then ate 2 cookies.
He's fine. You're
Battery
fine.
consumption.
Just stay away from anything dangerous. Electricity, outside.
I'm fine. I don't feel it at all.
You will.
We'll see. My body has a physical tolerance of 10 men. Doctors have called me a medical marvel.
Yeah, just lie down.
But right here.
You've been yammering about your love life for 2 weeks,
Wow.
including last night
Also
at the
bizarre
correspondence
loud.
dinner. I'm a financial news reporter, and the Secretary of the Treasury turned around and said, when's he gonna shut up about Maggie? That was really embarrassing for me, and it came right after I accidentally set him on fire.
Elliot, let's try to...
Boy, that Genghis Khan had some pretty good ideas.
You see what happened? Popular political views.
I can do that.
Being dressed in an inappropriately revealing manner.
Take off your clothes.
You take off your clothes.
I guess I'm stuck with the tiebreaker.
Lester, I'm gonna lose my shit on you.
I'm gonna run.
No, you're not. I can run fast. You can't get out of the car without me. I see you thinking about it. Do not do it. What are you putting that in your pocket for? motherfucker! Get back here! You are not safe out here! McAvoy, get back! God damn it!
Sir, is there a problem?
What about outside the box? Way outside the box.
All right, here I go.
What?
A study published in the Astrophysical Journal estimates there are 10 trillion planetary systems in the known universe.
Which one are you from?
She said outside the box. Then she added way outside the box. Besides the near certainty that intelligent life exists outside this planet, there
Are you suggesting that we've made contact with beings from another planet? Is that your suggestion?
You said way outside the box.
Come back in the box. When's the last time you did? Look at your BlackBerry. Press the buttons!
Sure. Okay. Not tonight, but in days to come, you'll look back and think that this moment was funny.
It's from 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
What does it say?
OBL reportable. Knock 'em dead, just like we did.
Who's it from?
Joe Biden.
Are you kidding me?
Something along the lines of, she screwed her way to the top and she's got a big ass. Only you'd have to...
Listen to me, Sam Pat. Do I?
Of course not.
Okay.
I can do it.
You cannot. If you want, you can say that I made it to the final round of the K through 6 regionals and these scripts Howard Spelling Bee.
That's not gonna happen. Not a lot of guys like women with like...
Do they really? Never mind.
You seem like you're in pain.
He is. He said in pain, not a pain.
Oh, never mind.
Does anybody think we can't do this? This is a blessing in disguise. I say the power going out is the best thing that ever happened to us. I say the power going out is what is going to save this son of a bitch! Freaking riot, you know that? Why did you do this? Hey! What is wrong with you? I've been waiting to say to you.
I appreciate your patience.
I don't want your wise ass remarks. I was just checking this or fixing. Yeah, the nurse can.
I've been here, please. Ow! Ow!
You want to end up like me and him?
Oh.
Wasting time, and now he's practically dead.
I'm not practically
Eat some Jello. You gotta do something before he asks her.
No.
Why not?
It doesn't seem like a very nice thing to do, John. Or Lisa.
So you're willing to end up like the two of us? A strong, beautiful, vital woman in a hollowed-out shell of a man.
You know I'm awake now.
That's a dead person speaking, basically. And I'm gonna have to spend the next God knows how many hours in mourning.
Please go back to work. Teddy, is there something different about this pen?
Different from what? Every time I wear that suit, I mean every time, I put both my legs on one side.
One side of the pen.
I stand up, I put one leg into one side, and then I take my other leg, and I'm certainly aiming for the other side of the fence, but I get stuck, and I'm asking if there's something not so much wrong, but different.
You can't put your pants on and you think there's something wrong with the pants?
All right, get out.
Absolutely sure about that.
You know what I like about Will? He's not absolutely sure about anything. He struggles with things. He's never certain he's right, and sometimes he's not, but he tries hard to be. He struggles with things.
Will, you're right.
Could somebody help Will put his pants on?
Fidel.
Okay.
What's up?
Okay. I know we were on sketchy ground ethically and linguistically, but
Whatever you're gonna say, save it for another 10 seconds.
What happens in 10 seconds?
Just hang on for another 5 seconds and know that we've all been there at one point or another.
What happens in 5 seconds?
What in the name of holy fuck were you thinking about?
First, let me say that Don was not responsible for that.
Yeah. When you severed communication with the EP, you pretty much absolved him of responsibility. But that doesn't make the cut of the top 3 calamities that just occurred.
Charlie.
I, along with most people who don't live in Japan, I'm not fluent in Japanese, so I have to ask, did you just make up statements for somebody we had live on our air?
I didn't make them up.
About a deadly radiation leak?
I didn't make them up. He told me the reactor was going to a 7.
When? Tonight? I'm asking honestly because there was a portion of the broadcast that turned into a Kurosawa movie.
These things are measured on a scale of 0 to 7. 5 is 3 Mile Island, 7 is Chernobyl.
On air, did he say the reactors were going to 7?
Quality
He said it to me in the pre-interview, and then the company stuck an interpreter next to him, and I think her job was more than interpreting because she wasn't accurately translating.
We don't report what you think, Sloan. The guy said all 6 reactors are stable.
The Japanese are a deferential people. It's very hard for them to explain when they've done something
Don't give a shit, Madam Butterfly. And right now, the Japanese who are reading an online report of your report are fleeing from their fucking homes. Now tell me what he said tonight on air.
He said the reactors were at 5.
But you said he said they would move to 7.
I made it clear he said that during the pre-interview.
First of all, let's not kid ourselves. There was nothing that was clear about that interview.
He said it to me, and he said it to a conference room full of staffers.
The staffers weren't there.
The staffers were not there. I sent them out so that we could speak privately and off...
No. Finish that sentence.
off the record.
Good luck trying to get a source to talk to you off the record again. You have no value to me as a reporter now.
Charlie!
And I have to suspend you.
Come on.
What?
I have to suspend you while we bring in outside investigators to comb through every report you filed in the last 2 years to find out what other shit you made up.
I didn't make anything up. I would never make anything up.
I know that, and you know that, and he knows that, but why the hell should anyone else know that? You're suspended with pay until I
They were lying
figure out...
about a public safety
You're
issue.
suspended with pay
I
until...
don't want the goddamn pay!
Don't front off with me, girl!
Don't call me girl, sir.
Hey! Everybody calm the fuck down.
For how long?
This woman is the best I've ever seen. Center screen is Nancy. These three corners are live feeds of the guest experts.
What are they experts in?
Agreeing with everything Nancy says, but what keeps your attention, excuse me,
Go ahead. What keeps our attention?
is the bottom right corner where they're playing a loop of little Kaylee from a home video.
Question, how? Do you think it's as bad as everyone says it is?
That was actually a tribute to Kelly. But how will they explain the duct tape around the child's mouth and nose? And how will they explain all the lies that Top Mom told?
Now, they're not talking about the tattoo on Casey's back, but they put it full screen. Why? Because Tess was just about to look somewhere else, so they changed the frame to anything that might keep her attention.
He's right. I was gonna Google Max Hell question.
Plus, tattoo equals bad mom. No one's ever gone broke in America serving up a woman who makes other women feel superior.
The series of lies that finally came crashing down around her. If she would lie about that, why should I believe an accident is true?
Don't spend time thinking about her airtight syllogism or EPs showing duct tape in a plastic bag so you know you're watching the real CSI Miami.
Chloroform. How to make weapons out of home materials found in the home. About breaking necks. How can they explain that?
They can't explain it, Nancy. The defense is doing what the defense has to do. They may throw...
Now, Bill Schaefer's done his job. He agreed with Nancy. We don't need to see his face anymore. Look how cute Kaylee is. She deserved better than a mom with a tattoo. She deserved...
Me.
Me. Tess, how's that Google search coming?
It does look pretty bad. A lot of fire.
You'll notice little of her coverage in this instance is about the law.
You know, come to think of it, I did notice
It's all
that.
based on an emotional appeal, the way she would with a jury if there was no judge there to stop her. Watch how she breaks down courtroom footage.
Let's see the video of Tot Mom and Jose Baez back at it in court again today. Not a good look between a death penalty defendant and the lead defense attorney.
2 seconds. 2 seconds of Casey Anthony walking past her lawyer, and she'll show it to you in slow motion and from a
Breaking her
different
arm
angle.
and casting it
And at
doesn't
regular
make
speed,
it right that you broke
the
her
original
arm.
angle again. What does that remind you of?
Instant replay in sports. She looks pretty pissed at her lawyer.
And that's exactly why she's showing it to you so many times. So you have a chance to draw your own thoroughly uninformed opinion about an utterly innocuous exchange. She looks pissed. I wonder if she's sleeping with her lawyer. I bet she is. I wonder if that's what she looked like when she killed Kaylee. This is the best TV ever. I gotta go on my Casey Anthony Facebook page and see if my Casey Anthony Facebook friends just saw Casey Anthony make a Casey Anthony face at her Casey Anthony lawyer.
All right, enough. Will's a criminal prosecutor. Maybe he can talk about how our justice system wasn't built to lock up guilty people. It was built to keep innocent people free, which is something Americans should be proud of and fiercely protect.
No. He can't ever imply that the viewer doesn't already know everything and that she might be innocent.
If we're going to cover this, we're going to cover it our way.
What's the point in covering it all unless we do it in a way that gets our audience back?
A modest proposal. We could ourselves commit murder on our air. In your face, Nancy Grace.
And joining us now in studio is Richard Westbrook, Deputy Assistant Administrator of the EPA. Welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Westbrook, you've spent most of your professional career as a climate scientist in the public sector.
Yes, 10 years as a supervisory management analyst in the Office of Environmental Information. And before that, I was a program specialist in the EPA's Resource Management Division.
And you have a PhD in climate science from Stanford.
Yes, and another in chemistry with a master's in biology.
Okay. Tell us about the findings in the report that was just released.
The latest measurements taken at Mauna Loa in Hawaii indicate a CO2 level of 400 parts per million.
Just so we know what we're talking about, if you were a doctor and we were the patient, what's your prognosis? 1,000 years? 2,000 years?
A person has already been born who will die due to catastrophic failure of the planet.
What did he just say?
Okay, can you expand on that?
Sure. The last time there was this much CO2 in the air, the oceans were 80 feet higher than they are now. Two things you should know. Half the world's population lives within 120 miles of an ocean.
And the other?
Humans can't breathe underwater.
You're saying the situation's dire.
Not exactly.
Yeah.
Your house is burning to the ground, the situation's dire. Your house has already burned to the ground. The situation's over.
So what can we do to reverse this?
Well, there's a lot we could do. Good. For 20 years ago, or even 10 years ago, but now, no.
Can you make an analogy that might help us understand?
Sure. It's as if you're sitting in your car, in your garage, with the engine running and the door closed, and you've slipped into unconsciousness, and that's it.
What if someone comes and opens the door?
You're already dead.
What if the person got there in time?
You'd be saved.
Okay. So now what's the CO2 equivalent of the getting there on time?
Shutting off the car 20 years ago.
You sound like you're saying it's hopeless.
Yeah.
Is that the administration's position or yours?
There isn't a position on this any more than there's a position on the temperature at which water boils.
The administration, your administration.
And don't forget, I need you to
supports wind and
stretch
solar,
40.
clean coal, nuclear power, raising fuel economy standards, and building a more efficient electrical grid.
Yes.
And?
That would have been great.
Let's see if we can't find a better spin. People are starting their weekends. The report says we can release 565 more gigatons of CO2 without the effects being calamitous.
It says we can only release 565 gigatons.
So what if we only release 564?
Well, then we would have a reasonable shot at some form of dystopian post-apocalyptic life. But the carbon dioxide in the oil that we've already released is 2,795 gigatons. So
what would all this look like?
Well, mass migrations, food and water shortages, spread of deadly disease, endless wildfires, way too many to keep under control. Storms that have the power to level cities, blacken out the sky, and create permanent darkness.
Are you going to get in trouble for saying this publicly?
Who cares?
Mr. Westbrook, we want to inform people, but we don't want to alarm them. Can you give us a reason to be optimistic?
Well, that's the thing, Will. Americans are optimistic by nature. And if we face this problem head on, if we listen to our best scientists and act decisively, and passionately. I still don't see any way we can survive.
Okay, Richard Westbrook, Deputy Assistant Administrator of the EPA. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
This is Newsnight. We'll be back right after this.
Don't doubt for a minute that if they thought they could get away with it, they would ban guns and ban ammunition.
That was former Governor Sarah Palin speaking to the National Rifle Association last year. Here's Fox News host Glenn Beck on the same subject.
He will, slowly but surely, take away your guns.
And here's NRA Executive Vice President Wayne LaPierre speaking at CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Council.
But it's a big, fat, stinking lie. Just like all the other lies that have come out of this corrupt administration.
Thank you.
That's a tough list to crack.
Yeah, I know this looks like a big, juicy ribeye to me, but show some restraint now. Let facts
Thank
speak for
you.
themselves.
That's their agenda.
And radio host Rush Limbaugh has repeatedly warned to his listeners to go out and buy guns before President Obama outlaws them all. The result? In November 2008, the month Mr. Obama was elected, there was a 42% spike in gun background checks as compared to the same month the year before.
What?
The country's largest anti-gun lobby is called the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence, named for James Brady, President Reagan's press secretary, who was shot in the head during John Hinckley's assassination attempt on the 40th president. The Brady organization gives grades to elected officials based on their record and leadership with regard to gun legislation, with an A being the most anti-gun, and so on.
It's like the dog peed
In spite
on the
of
floor
Governor
or
Palin,
something.
Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, and the director of the NRA telling us emphatically that Barack Obama has a secret plan to get our guns, here's the president's report card. Background checks, F. Gun trafficking, F. Guns in public, F. Federal assault weapons ban, F. Standing up to the gun lobby, F. Not only has no attempt whatsoever been made to dismantle the Second Amendment during Barack Obama's first 2 years in office, the president has signed into law more repeals of federal gun policies than George W. Bush did during his entire 8 years in the White House. In fact, these grades would indicate that President Obama is the best friend the NRA has ever had in elected office, to say nothing of the Oval Office. Why are Sarah Palin, Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, and the head of the NRA so colossally lying to you? I don't know. But I know when they do, ratings go up, political contributions go up, membership in the NRA goes up, the president's approval rating goes down, and gun sales go through the freaking roof. We'll be right back. We're out. Well, our Constitution is a masterpiece. James Madison was a genius. The Declaration of Independence is, for me, the single greatest piece of American writing. You don't look satisfied.
One's a set of laws and the other's a declaration of war. I want a human moment from you. What about the people? Why is
Not
America
the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
You're saying
yes. Let's talk about, fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of her paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always? Hey, and with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom. All right. And yet you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite? Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves